Welcome to Spelling Bee Ninja. If you're curious about making smarter choices and improving your decision-making skills, you're in the right place. Our mission is to provide you with engaging, free educational content that empowers you to think critically and make informed choices in life. If you love learning and want more insightful lessons like this one, be sure to subscribe and join our community. Let's dive into today's lesson on decision-making. Every day, you face decisions, big and small. From what to eat for breakfast to which career path to pursue, choices shape our lives. Today, we'll explore the essential skills of effective decision-making, focusing on critical thinking and logical reasoning deconstructed into manageable steps. Decision-making is often described as the art of choosing wisely. The process involves selecting between various options to achieve desired outcomes. Imagine needing to choose between multiple college offers. Each decision requires careful consideration of factors like financial aid, program quality, and distance from home. Being good at decision-making isn't just about making the right choice. It requires weighing evidence, considering alternatives, evaluating risks, and making a logical choice in line with your values, even when the outcome is uncertain. Interestingly, the ancient philosopher Aristotle emphasized the concept of deliberation, which aligns closely with today's understanding of decision-making as a rational process of assessing ends and means effectively. To structure our understanding, let's break down effective decision-making into a 7-step framework. First, define your problem or goal. What exactly are you trying to solve? Next, identify your alternatives. This means brainstorming all possible options, even those that might seem unusual. The third step is to gather relevant information. This step involves researching and collecting data on your options. Once armed with facts, it's time to evaluate alternatives against specific criteria. What are your requirements for a good decision? This leads us to selecting the best option. After making a choice, it's crucial to implement it effectively. Finally, evaluate the outcome. Did your decision meet your expectations? Were there any unforeseen problems? This structured process helps reduce errors and leads to better outcomes. In fact, the military employs a formal decision-making process called the military decision-making process to ensure careful evaluation in operations. Decision-making isn't only for decisions in personal life, it's foundational in fields such as business and psychology, where the rational decision-making model has evolved to improve management success. Assessing your decisions effectively is vital. For more objective decision-making, it's important to establish clear criteria, those standards that options must meet. Thinking transparently about your criteria helps you compare choices without being influenced by fleeting emotions or superficial impressions. For example, if you're picking a job offer, consider critical aspects like salary, location, and work-life balance. A formal approach like multi-criteria decision analysis can help score each option on established criteria, assigning weight to what's most crucial to you. Notably, since the late 1970s, this decision analysis framework has been applied in various fields, including energy policy evaluation by the U.S. Department of Energy. Many daily decisions don't require such rigorous methods, but understanding your criteria can enhance consistent, rational choice-making in life. Of course, every decision carries some risk and uncertain outcome that could impact your life. Effective decision-making requires evaluating both the likelihood of different outcomes and the nature of their impacts. For instance, should you decide to drive without a seatbelt? Tally the high-impact risk of serious injury against the lower probability chance of an accident. Risk management, developed significantly post-World War II, became crucial in diverse areas including finance and healthcare, especially after notable events like the 3 Mile Island nuclear accident showcased the importance of rigorous risk assessment. Interestingly, psychological research by Daniel Kahneman, who won a Nobel Prize in 2002, indicates that most people struggle with intuitively assessing risk. We often overestimate sensational events while underestimating everyday risks. Therefore, the key to effective decision-making is to complement intuition with careful risk evaluation. Identify potential pitfalls. What could go wrong? How likely are these outcomes? Good decision-making also involves being aware of cognitive biases that often cloud judgment. Cognitive biases are mental shortcuts that can lead to systematic errors in our thinking. They include confirmation bias, where we only seek evidence that supports our pre-existing beliefs, and the sunk cost fallacy, where past investments unduly influence our choice. Kahneman and Tversky's research brought cognitive biases to light, illustrating people's tendency to overreact to dramatic risks. Notably, behavioral economists have demonstrated how small changes in choice presentation can nudge individuals toward better decisions. Recognizing your own biases is essential in cultivating rational decision-making strengths. Furthermore, a balance between emotional and rational thinking is crucial for making healthy decisions. While cold, hard reasoning can fuel analysis, emotions often serve to highlight what truly resonates with your values. Philosopher David Hume suggested that reason should serve our passions. A practical example is choosing a major. Rational elements, like future job prospects and potential salary, need to harmonize with emotional factors like personal interest and fulfillment. Notably, individuals who have suffered damage to their emotional processing centers show remarkable difficulty in decision-making, illustrating just how intertwined our feelings are with logical reasoning. Thus, integrating both aspects will lead to more satisfying decisions. Now, let's consider decision-making when faced with uncertainty. It's intrinsic to many significant choices. Accepting that uncertainty is part of life means that in situations like starting a new business, you can gather information, plan for various scenarios, and be ready to adapt without expecting complete certainty. Game theory, introduced by John von Neumann, illustrates decision-making under uncertainty in strategic scenarios, where the outcomes heavily rely on others' decisions. This perspective showcases how understanding variable elements empowers confident choices, even without complete information. Next, we should be wary of decision-making traps that can mislead our thought processes. The confirmation trap tempts us to collect only supporting evidence, and the status quo trap keeps us bound to familiar choices. Sometimes, a framing trap can distort our view based on how options are presented rather than their intrinsic merits. To combat these traps, cultivate a mindset that encourages seeking dissenting viewpoints, posing challenging questions, and re-examining underlying assumptions in your choices. History shows us how group dynamics can lead to poor decisions. For example, the 1961 Bay of Pigs invasion is an infamous case of groupthink, where harmony was prioritized over critical evaluation. To avoid such pitfalls, structured discussions within groups can empower better collective choices. As we round off, we should reflect on the journey of mastering decision-making. This continuous development shapes how we engage with the world. The Roman philosopher Seneca aptly noted that how we spend our time is a reflection of our choices. Research indicates that those who deliberately engage in decision-making tend to report higher life satisfaction. Explore decision-making training across various sectors, from education enhancing critical thinking skills to healthcare equipping patients with informed options. Decision-making is a learnable skill. Begin by reflecting on your recent choices. What were their effects? How could they have been improved? Practicing self-awareness and structured evaluation strengthens your decision-making muscles day by day. Today, we delve deep into the science and art of decision-making, emphasizing the importance of critical thinking, structured evaluation, and the balance between emotion and reason. We explored essential steps in the decision-making process, the influence of biases, the impact of uncertainty, and the value of understanding the collective wisdom present in group decision-making. As we navigate through choices in life, mastering these skills can lead to more informed, satisfying outcomes. Thank you for joining us on this journey through decision-making. We hope you found today's lesson enlightening and that you feel more empowered to make thoughtful choices in your life. Remember, great decision-making is a skill that develops over time, so keep practicing. Don't forget to subscribe to Spelling Bee Ninja for more educational content. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.